Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Battle Brothers with me, Cornish-Knight. Last time we were here, we were just taking care of some business, and I think we were in a relatively okay state, to be honest. We had done a little bit of clear-up work, fought off several nasty incursions, which is always very pleasant. We were just sort of getting ourselves back into sort of fighting order. What's this job for the factions? Nope. Not suicidal enough. I do not like fighting greenskins, especially at the state my party's in at the moment. The thing is, I need to buff some of my people up. So I'm at the moment, I've got several people in reserve. Their militia are out in force. Throw my lot in with these guys. Wait, what? Hold on, that's not right. Okay, we are leaving. Sorry, I thought we were just chucking it all in with a bunch of goblins and allies, but apparently it's a bit more serious than that. So I think we shall have a wee bit of discretion and quickly beat a retreat. This is something I have said quite often. Never be afraid to basically pull back your forces if you're not confident of victory. This game isn't one of those games where you can just like bluff your way through. It's not like that at all. It's a lot of goblins. And I'd rather not lose my guys unless I really have to. I know this may seem cowardly, but in this game, keeping your people alive is the most important thing you can manage, so I don't have massive problems about fleeing the battlefield. He's a little bit hurt anyway. Wait, what? Ah. Okay, that was slightly strange. It must have been a slight bug pulled me into combat before they actually had put the auto assist thing through, which is rather strange. I think the developers will have to have a look at that. Right, we need to go see what's going on out there. Still can't see anything. The goblins must be right there. Unlikely we'll see any action, to be honest. There's like 40 other people flying about hacking at each other. I wonder if we'll see any of the new weapons turn up. I doubt it. There hasn't been an update yet, so from what I've been able to tell, some of the weapons are going to be going to the bandits. Like the glaive, for example, is going to start showing up with the bandits soon. It's going to be like a stopgap, not a stopgap, but it's basically trying to think of the right word you would use. It's basically a transitional weapon between like pitchforks and the billhook. So you'll be seeing less billhooks, which are these things here. You'll be seeing less of those with bandits at a lower level, and more sort of like glaives and stuff like that. because the billhook is actually relatively, I believe it's a relatively high tier polearm. It's quite a jump. If you go from the pitchfork to the billhook, it's quite a sharp jump. So I think what they're doing is they're putting the glaive in to basically sort of have a softer damage increase over time. Like you go from the pitchfork to the glaive to the billhook to the pike. They must be over there somewhere. Yeah, someone's arm has been destroyed. But this is like the kind of scale battles that you can sort of expect to happen in the late game, like 60 versus 60 side, which will be absolutely brutal, especially with like end game events like orc invasions and stuff. You'll literally have like massive armies clashing all over the place. Only downside is it takes forever to get through all the turns. I wish you had some way of like speeding it up. They must be just here. Which doesn't help me a lot. Interesting, they are warmed up now for moving. I don't know, I've seen it several times where the enemy, when AIs have moved and they haven't actually got tired by moving. Maybe they fixed it. Interesting. But you can just see the mass of how big these battles can get. And to be honest, this isn't even like really that like high tier of a battle. It's mostly militia. If you imagine late game stuff, you'll literally have like large men-at-arms armies like clashing with each other. So you'll have whole groups of heavily armoured human warriors slamming into like undead and each other and orcs. And just the amount of blood and carnage and loot that you'll be able to get from this if you're actually on the winning side. If you're on the losing side, I would heavily suggest fleeing. That would be something to be actually interesting to watch, watching flee mechanics in large-scale battles when one side starts to lose, to see how many of them try to flee. Normally, in my experience, that the AI tends to flee when it drops to about 10% of its original forces. So if you have like 60 people, it will be when they drop to 6 members, they'll probably try and break and flee. For I doubt that might be increased for an actual large battles later on. So many archers. One of the other things that they said they're going to be including a lot more soon is you're going to be fighting a lot like other mercenary companies. You hear about them in rumours and stuff at the moment, but they don't like really turn up. I haven't met any in all my time playing this game yet. So what they said is going to happen, especially like if you have like a human directed conflict, it's going to be that more mercenary companies will start showing up. And they're going to be around the world anyway, so you can like fight other mercenaries and stuff like that and build up a reputation, which can be interesting. See, this is the kind of like good tier army quality that you sort of want. They're all armed. Most of the like men-at-arms are either armed with good armour and like heated shields, which means they're really good defensive bonus for melee, or you have just like so much chainmail, it's unbelievable. And this is good quality chainmail, this isn't sort of like rubbishy stuff. But you can just imagine actually proper like large battles of like 60 versus 60, which are supposed to be able like even more happening, and just massive sealed walls of people slamming into each other and just death and destruction all over the place. It'd be really interesting to see when it actually happens. I wonder what kinds of mechanics will come into place, if the AI will start being a bit more tactical and keeping formation. Because I'd like to see that. I'd like the AI to have a bit more of a defensive posturing occasionally. If they're like outnumbered instead of like charging straight on, it would be nice to see the AI taking like a defensible position, putting up a sealed wall, holding the line on high ground or something like that. Yeah, that goblin's done for. The interesting thing is the greenskins shields make them very resistant to range fire, but they're actually relatively weak. So if you can actually get into close combat with them, most greenskin shields actually aren't that effective. Though, as always, they do have some very strong shields. And unlike what you may assume, arrow fire actually does damage shields over time, so if you hit them with enough arrow fire they will collapse. To be honest, there's not a lot I can actually do here. I'm just sort of running around having a look at the scenery. Probably by this point the goblins will start breaking in and running. I'm trying to remember how the morale mechanic in this game works. Not like this. I obviously know how the basic morale mechanic works, but I want to know like how the group AI work. Remember how the group AI works, which means that it will say, right, we're in this situation, we now need to retreat. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But this is like the kind of large-scale battles that you can expect. That was a banner ability, the like heroic courage kind of ability. You'll be able to do that as well soon as well, which is really cool. They've said that you can have like end goals, well not end goals, but like goals for your company, such as improve your relations with a settlement, or basically get enough money together to make a standard, or what was the other one? Recruits, I think it's like more than a dozen men into the company, and all these goals sort of give you bonuses and stuff, which is really cool. The last one is probably fleeing, so we're just going to skip. I know this hasn't been like the most combat, well, we haven't been doing any fighting at all, but it's nice to see like how many pieces that you could have on the board at one time. And in the end game stuff, like the proper like late game scenarios, you're going to be having groups this size of running about on the battlefield fighting each other, and it's going to be just absolutely beautiful to see. Like full medieval battle and all, it's bloody gory. Yeah, it's over. Do we get anything? A little bit. But they had a lot of men, and that was a large force. Probably had been hunting the goblins for some time. Any easy contracts? As you enter Volker, the merchant's room, he and one of his servants are nailing a box up. Good to see you, sellsword. One moment, please. No idiot, hold the nail that way. I know if I hit your thumb before, but I won't do it again. The servant reluctantly holds the nail up by the man's hammer. The servant reluctantly holds up a nail up by the man's hammer. Sorry, what? His servant reluctantly holds a nail up by the man's hammer it home. Okay, so it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be the servant reluctantly holds a nail up and the man hammers it home. Finished, he wipes the sweat off his brow and looks at you. I need this crate delivered to Hagamors. I'm going to. It's going to Friedrich the Wise. You know him, or right? Maybe you don't. What I do know is that you may not. This may not ordinarily be your line of work. Let's talk money. Want more on completion? Want more on completion? Okay, accept the offer. Accept the contract. This is actually quite a useful town to come to most of the time. It has not a bad supply of stuff. Healer. I really want to know what the Veterans Hall is. I get the feeling it's like skill training. It's either going to be skill training or it will allow you to... It's up there. It will allow you to... I don't know what it is. Maybe it's character training. That might be something that would be useful. Having the ability to sort of train up characters without having to have them like engaged in combat all the time, which would be really nice. Like just pay out a particular amount of money. Your guy goes in, does some training, and comes out, so you don't have to like risk your level 1s throwing them into combat against like high level orcs or something. Maybe that's what they're planning for, like the mid-level to get over the... I suppose what you have is that you have a skill drop at mid-level, which is that when you lose relatively good leveled characters, like 5 or 6 level characters, what happens is that you have to hire in, as I've done, you have to hire in low-level characters most of the time unless you pay for them. And this results in them being a lot more likely to get killed by higher-level enemies. It would be nice. Maybe there's somewhere we can like train in particular skills or just have general like party training. Because it would certainly make you a lot more invested in in a particular city's survival. Because I know for a fact that a lot of like the late game content is all about sort of holding territory. For example, they've basically sewn off like siege engines and what a city will look like when it's like conquered by another faction. And for example, the orcs tend to raise a lot of cities, which I found a bit strange. I thought they'd probably turn them into like orky cities, but they don't. They just raised them like a barbarian horde. The undead actually... Okay. Where's he going? The undead actually like turn them into undead like necropolises, like strongholds that you have to sort of raise to the ground, otherwise they constantly keep spawning out undead, which is really cool. And obviously if another faction takes it over, it's just how it is. Yeah, they need... I've read this one quite a lot recently. They need to put a different like receiving message for this one here. Anything interesting? No. Get our health up a bit. There's no interesting jobs either. Very Anglo-Saxon style, that, with all the wooden buildings. Anglo-Saxons and like in early medieval period, a lot of people built in like a wooden that style anyway. Now let's see if we can find these raiders. Are they coming after me? Or are they coming along the road? No, they're going after the peasant folk. I'd rather not fight them in the forest. Fighting them in the forest is a bad idea. If we can lure them out of the forest, perhaps. There's no other major settlements. Let's try up this way and see if they can get some work. I was fancying just picking a fight with the bandits. I've yet to actually play as a bandit in this game. I know you can do it. It's just the mechanics for doing it are a bit. The mechanics for doing it are relatively unhelpful, I suppose you could say. Okay. We can take these guys. Ah, they actually have a stronghold. Yep, expected that. Right, we need to get up out of this ditch. hold off the archery combat. We need to sort of... Yeah, we're going to really have to press actually, because they've got a lot of two-handed ranged weapons. Missed, as I expected. Okay, this is going to be interesting. We could have probably held back, but now the problem is that we really can't afford to. Okay, shield up. Okay, hold off because he needs to get up. Because I need to get my guys in. Oh, that's not good. Who's more of a threat? They're both pretty bad, but haven't got much head armor. That's not hitting any of my hits today. Alright, get up. He's gonna have to come around this way to get up. That's not good. This is just going to go badly. I can just feel it in my bones. Come on, hold. Yeah, I was worried about that. Right, I need to be hitting people like him. Missed. Okay. 52%, that's not great. We need to be killing this guy, to be honest. 42, still missed. That's not great. Well, we killed off one of the really bad guys. That's great weapon people is somebody I hate. Now, 65% chance of hitting him, or we can sunder his armor. Let's risk it. Curses. Shield wall again. Finished off the other great weapon user. Good, good. Because now what we can do is we can flank them, start pushing them back aggressively. Come on, hold. Oh, they killed Runkle, son of Runkle. Oh, no you blinking don't. Ooh, nice shot, Grace's kidney. His shield's gone, so he's going to be in a really bad way unless I do something. We lost Runkle, but it was to be expected to some extent. Keep the longbowman out of it. I could try shield tapping him. %75 chance. That would do nicely. There's no way I can get out of this without taking serious damage. This is going to be nasty. Seriously? Alright, I need to push some of these people back, or at least stab one of them. Who's badly? He's going to be... Will you stop shooting arrows at me? Right, he's broken. I've got to send someone to engage this archer so they stop shooting me. Get someone into combat there. Right, that does it. I'm moving someone down here to do that. Crack his shield. Finish him off. Oh, this is bad. I'm going to lose him if I'm not careful. I'm going to lose Kid. Yeah, that's really bad. Pierce his side, like Liffy just steps in and just jabs his pike into the guy's side, which is nice. Can't get any shots off. That's not good. But we should pierce his side again. Seriously. Killed him. If nothing else, who have I got left? Hold off. He's going to be dead if I'm not careful. What level is he? He's level 3. Crack his shield open. Smash him in the head. Yeah, they killed Kid. Oh, that was a real pain. Just some really bad rolls on my part. Right, move the guys up. That was a shame. We lost Kid and we lost Runkle. But it's like they're low level, so it's like, what can you do? Kid was unfortunate. Really unfortunate. So if you can come back in. I might have to take you off the line, Liffy. I'm sorry that you're really good at hitting stuff, but I need another shieldman. And at the moment you're all that I have. He's injured, out of action for a bit. I mean, to be honest, what I could probably do is, because he's got the shield bonus, so he's definitely more inclined to be hitting stuff. So we put him up there. Take this guy's pike off, put him down here to heal. We lost some people. Oh, wrong person. We lost some people, it's really unfortunate. I have to hire some more men. But it's the risks that you sort of do, unfortunately. And that's why I think the Veterans War is going to be useful, because it means that you'll be able to like level up people quicker without having to sort of throw low level characters into harder fights, which is what we had to do just now, which is not particularly fantastic. Better give them some better armour, to be honest. Who's our number 1 fighter at the moment? It's probably Eske. So Eske, you're going to get that nice helmet. Indy, you can have that. Just how it goes, unfortunately, can't be helped. Let's just get to this city for a bit. Hopefully they'll have a healer. No healer. Some base... we can sell some stuff, I suppose. Sell some of the pikes. Gives us a bit of money. Anybody interesting worth recruiting? Ooh, really? That was... I knew I should have come here. They always have good archers. Maybe I can hire someone that's better than him. That could be something, but that will have to be for next time. Bowyer. See, look, all these people that are like hunters. High range skill. High range skill. Well, that'll be something for next time, folks. I've been Cornish-Knight. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at the links provided below. And I shall catch you all next time. Goodbye.